Hello, it's me, LH Music. And guess what? I have words of wisdom for this no competitive buffoon, Brian Williams, because he said he's sorry. That's right, he said he's sorry! And Charles Renner will be here to analyze this, if we have time for that. Plus, a little bit of Thursday's newspapers, if we have time to do this. So, it's up to them. Well, guess what? Who knows? Anyways, final closing time factor video conference thoughts starts right now. If you don't mind, check the theme music, please. If you don't mind, check the theme music. If you don't mind, hit it.
We all want to belong. We all want to be heard. We all want to be free. Want to feel safe. Love from the dawn. All we want is
Somebody's gotta say it. That's why LH Music Store, inside your video set. That's why the radio temperature lives here. This is the final closing time factor video conference thoughts.
Well,
Let's talk about Brian Williams first.
Measles.
You know why? Because
Measles.
I tell you one thing is, you know why?
Is it?
Because Brian Williams says he's sorry. I posted on my Time Factor website, and you can see it right here, our very eyes and ears. And that's why this weekend on my Time Factor files, and so it's Time Factor radio show, and so it's my Time Factor television show. It has returned this Saturday on Fox. And I wonder why he just made this up. Because you know what? It's a fake. Fake. Fake story. It goes on David, Late Show with David Letterman back in March 2013. He just made that stupid thing up. And now Brian Williams says he's sorry. Yeah, he's sorry for what? Oh gosh.
Disneyland.
Could be civilized so stupid. And I am so fed up with that.
Okay. The Russians are
And why? Because it doesn't make sense at all.
10 years.
And living in this whole
We
universe.
violated comments for propaganda. Need to go to anybody. You have an idea. I'm going to bring it up. Yeah. Federal Communications being hit by the RPG. Pat and I had this conversation.
And no, Pat and myself, and this is what happens.
And welcome back to Hannity. Now more on the big
One of
two
the
top
biggest
stories of the day. Catching headlines, Brian Williams caught red-handed, and the president,
you know who.
at the National Prayer
and all that. Here's analyze this. Charles Gronhammer, book Things That Matter.
Here's the one and only.
Welcome, Charles Gronhammer. Welcome to Final Closing Time Factor Video Cover Thoughts.
Good to be with you again. What was your reaction?
Here's my prayer breakfast.
I was
What's the whole reaction of this
stunned
prayer
that the
breakfast?
president could say something so, I mean, at once banal and offensive. Here we are now 2 days away from an act of sort of shocking barbarism, the burning alive of a prisoner of war. And Obama's message is that we should remember the Crusades and the Inquisition. I mean, for him to say that all of us have sinned, all religions have been transgressed is, is adolescent stuff. Everyone knows that. What's important is what's happening now. Christianity no longer goes on crusades, and it gave up the Inquisition a while ago. The book of Joshua is knee-deep in blood. That story is over too. The story of today, of our generation, is the fact that the overwhelming volume of the violence and the barbarism that we are seeing in the world, from Nigeria to Paris, all the way to Pakistan and even to the Philippines, the island of Mindanao in the Philippines.
Australia?
Is coming from one source.
Yeah.
And that's from inside Islam. It is not the prevalent idea of Islam, but it is coming from Islam, as many Islamic leaders, including the President of Egypt, and many others have admitted, and there needs to be a change in Islam. It is not a coincidence that all of these attacks on other religions are happening all over the world, in a dozen countries, 24 countries, all in the name of one religion. It's not a coincidence. And for the president to be lecturing us and to say we shouldn't get on a high horse and to not remember our own
that crap
is ridiculous. The present issue is Muslim radicalism and how to attack it.
I actually think
I
it's not only ridiculous, but it's dangerous.
It's dangerous to me
that he can't identify this enemy. A quick example: the Jordanian reaction to the killing of the mass murder of the Jordanian pilot,
and he burned himself, as I said yesterday on my final closing TimeFactor video cover thoughts. And you know why?
A quick 3-minute comment. 3 minutes later, he's on the golf course for 4 hours. And no strong statement or reaction from the president.
From Obama's first speech at West Point in December 2009, ironically announcing the surge in Afghanistan. You could tell that his heart has never been in this fight. Never. He's the commander-in-chief, and yet he announces one sentence after he talks about the surge, he talks about the data withdrawal. Everyone in the region knows that. Everyone in the Middle East knows that he took on the fight on ISIS only because of the public reaction to the video of the beheading of the 2 Americans. He never would have lifted a finger otherwise. He hasn't helped the rebels in Syria. He has not given the weapons that Jordan needs. The Kurds, who are actually able, courageous, and well and committed to the fight against ISIS, still cannot get direct arms from the United States. The world knows this. Our enemies know it, and our friends know it.
It's not only West Point, but the first summer as being president when he goes to a foreign country apologizing to foreign capitals for America for sins real and even imagined. Let me transition and ask you, we work in the media business. You've been following the story of Brian Williams of NBC News.
And you might think it's so smart, but he's a liar.
Seems like a nice guy. Why would somebody risk their credibility in a totally fabricated story?
It got bigger and bigger by the moment.
Look, this is a big mistake on his part. I don't like to pile on. I mean, all of us have embellished, and once you start to embellish, you're trapped in it, and you can't escape. Let's remember Hillary made up the story about being
yes. Yes.
And she is the odds-on favorite to be the Democratic nominee for the presidency. Now, of course, you expect a politician to lie and not a broadcaster, so I can understand the difference. But what stuns me is how dumb this is. If you're going to make up a story, well, you do it when there aren't other people around. You know, you
you have a lie.
Yeah,
there's
witnesses.
You know, you tell a story about wrestling a lion to the ground because, generally speaking, lions don't have access to the internet. But you don't do it about an event that everybody saw.
That's a good point.
That's a wonderful point.
You're going to be unmasked about.
All right, last question.
Last question.
The phenomenon of American Sniper. I've interviewed Chris Kyle's wife, brother, his father. They're amazing people. He was an amazing man. More confirmed kills than anybody else in military history. But yet people still pile on. The latest person is Jesse Ventura on our mutual friend Alan Combs' radio show. Here's what he said.
Take a look and listen.
He was obviously a great sniper. He's obviously a great shot. He obviously did his job correctly. Alan, let me fire this one at you. Do you think the Nazis had heroes?
What is it about people that just have total contempt and a lack of understanding for what it is that we are given as a gift from those brave men and women that the American people obviously responded to at the box office?
I think it's fairly simple. I think the whole fight over the meaning and the popularity of the movie is a surrogate for re-arguing the war in Iraq. What worries the left is that they thought they won the argument, and here's a movie amazingly popular that actually acknowledges the courage and the heroism and the sacrifice of those who fought in Iraq. And I think that is sort of unpalatable. Remember, Hollywood put out half a dozen anti-war, anti-Iraq, we are the bad guy movies, and nobody went to see any of them. And here is one movie which celebrates a courageous soldier, and it is extremely popular and actually rather artistically done, well done by Clint Eastwood. And the left has to now relitigate the war because they thought they had won the argument, and they want to make sure that they retain that at least ideological victory.
All right, Charles Kramer,
Charles
always good to see you.
Always
Thank you so much
Thanks
for
so
being
much
with us.
for being with us.
Pleasure.
When we come back, some presidential.
Freedom with us. Thank you. And Charles will be here this weekend on my TimeFactor television show. It has returned. First we about that, I know. Everybody knows getting civilized about this one, so who needs it? Needs it anyway, so just about that. But anyways, so can't be civilized about, what I'm telling you about this one. It's gonna be outrageous.
So, this is
Way beyond compare. Like I said, I'll blast Mr. Williams in the face. Just about that. Anyways, TimeFactor weekend starts this weekend and has returned for an all-new Final Closing TimeFactor video company thoughts. And here's a game named that Super Bowl commercial. So,
Why?
it,
really just, I mean, do they now, these are even considered any of it in the Middle East? Gay hookup? Reject?
and why? And it's gonna be outrageous. So, well, guess what? It's gonna be outrageous. Trust me about that. So, TimeFactor weekend starts this weekend with my Final Closing TimeFactor video cover thoughts, and so is TimeFactor radio show and TimeFactor files and TimeFactor television show. This weekend, from Dailymotion all the way up to you know who. That's right. Keep me civilized, or keep me civilized, whatever it is. Right here from Dailymotion all the way up to Fox Networks. So just trust me about that. Anyways, if we gotta go, I want you to have a great weekend, and if we'll be back here on Monday for an all new Final Closing TimeFactor video cover thoughts, it'll be better. Facebook and follow LH Music, Facebook.com and Twitter.com. You know my username, LH Music Time. So it's TimeFactor website, LH Music, TimeFactor.jimdo.com. It's up and running. Trust me about that. And so is you know who. That's right, the one and only TimeFactor page on Facebook as well. Anyways, I gotta go. Want you to have a great weekend. Be back here on Monday from youtube.com/LHmusic1. But we'll be back this weekend from Dailymotion all the way up to Fox Networks for TimeFactor weekend. I'm out the door. I salute you, America, from LH Music. Good night. Bye-bye for now. See ya.